Today we are going to talk about our first verb, and the verb that we're going to talk about today is tener, which means to have. Whenever we have a verb, we need to conjugate it. And so today we're going to talk about how do I conjugate a verb and also what is conjugation. So, conjugation is changing the form of the verb to indicate who is completing the action. So, this would be like I have, she has, we have, adding in the people who are doing it. So, an infinitive is your unconjugated form of your verb, and all verbs that are unconjugated or in their infinitive form end in AR, ER, or IR. And that's how we're going to identify them moving forward. The verb tener means to have, and we can see that it's infinitive because it ends in an ER. So this is the part of the verb that we're really going to change its form of. So for tener, we have all these different forms. How do we say our different forms of our verb? So we have the infinitive, and if I wanted to say I have, I would say yo. That's the subject pronoun for I. And then the I form of have is tengo. Yo tengo. If I wanted to say you have, I would say tú tienes. If I wanted to say he has, él tiene. She has, ella tiene. Or if I wanted to use that formal version of you, usted, the shortened version, which is ud. So usted tiene is that you have, the formal version. For we have, we would say nosotros tenemos. Y'all have, vosotros tenéis. Remember, this version is only used in Spain. If I want to say they have, I could either say ellos or ellas, depending on who's in that group of they. Ellos or ellas tienen. And then for you all have, ustedes tienen. And that UDS is the shortened form of ustedes. This semester, we're really just going to focus on the yo tengo, I have, and the tú tienes, you have. So those are the big ones that we really want to remember moving forward. If I asked you the question, ¿Qué clase tienes? What class do you have? And you want to say, I have art class. First thing we want to do is we want to conjugate our verb to say I have, and then we can just add art class. So what we're going to do is say tengo, so we're choosing that form. I would say yo tengo, and then remember from yesterday the way to say the class of or art class, we say la clase de, and then we add in the class. So yo tengo la clase de arte. I have art class. What if I were to ask you qué clase tienes and you wanted to say I have history class? Take a moment to think about what we just did and try to translate this on your own. So if we wanted to say I have history class, we're going to use that yo tengo again, that I have, and then we're keeping up with the pattern, the class of, to say history class, so la clase de historia. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got that one. What if I wanted to say ¿Qué tiene ella para clase? What does she have? That should be she. What does she have for class? So I want to conjugate the verb tener into the ella form to say she has. And I should end up with tiene. So then I can say ella tiene, and then remember from Monday, if we want to say a, that's either un or una, but we know that cargador is masculine, so we want the masculine singular un. Ella tiene un cargador. She has a charger. Another weird one we worked with this last unit is ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? In Spanish, this directly translates to how many years do you have? And if I want to say I am 15 years old, I'm really saying I have 15 years. So I still want to start off with that yo tengo. And then we just add in our age again with the años. Yo tengo 15 años. I have 15 years. All right, great job, guys. Complete the Google form, and then you will be doing some practice in your notebook on the next slide.